Hello, everybody. I am Mrs. Poppet, and this is my place. It's so nice to have you here again for another story time. I have one I don't think you've heard of before, but it's a very good story, so I think you'll like it very much. It's called Urashima and the Turtle. And if you haven't heard it, we're going to hear it now. Urashima and the Turtle. There once was a young fisherman, the son of sons of fishermen. He loved the sea, the crash of the waves and the shifting tides. He lived at the shore. He loved to watch the sea by night and by day, winter and summer, stormy and fair. His name was Urashima. At dawn, he went out in his boat. He came home again at dusk. Sometimes the fishing was good. Sometimes it was poor. If he had had his way, he would never have kept the fish he caught. He'd have thrown them back in the water to live, for he thought fish were beautiful. Their skins flashed silver, they were delicately made, and they were strong. Late one afternoon, Urashima felt a tug at his line. He reeled it in. He expected to see the shimmer of a sea bass. Instead, he saw a turtle. Urashima smiled and threw the turtle back into the water. "I'd sooner go hungry tonight than kill a young turtle," he said. Turtles live long lives, and this one was very young. The turtle hit the water with a wide splash of foam. From the spray sprung a girl, more beautiful than the day and the night together. She was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. She came to sit at Urashima's side. She said, "I am the Sea King's daughter. We live at the bottom of the sea. Father let me change into a turtle to test your good heart. Indeed you are good and kind. Will you come and share my dragon palace in the kingdom of green waves?" Urashima saw only her great beauty. He wanted to be with her always. "Yes," he said. They each of them took an oar. They rowed the boat beneath the waves to the bottom of the sea. Crystalline fish with golden crests swam to escort them. Before the sun had set, they reached the palace. It was made of coral and pearl. It glimmered as if all the world's jewels were shining under water in a soft wash of moonlight. Velvet-finned little dragons obeyed their every wish in that palace. They fed on the delicacies that the sea gives only to those who love her. In the perfect quiet of that place, Urashima lived 4 years with his princess. Day and night the sea anemones danced light, soundless and slow in the luminous water. They were very happy until one day Urashima saw a young turtle. It reminded him of the day when he'd come under the sea. He thought of his village and of his family. The princess knew at once that he was thinking of home. "You miss the earth and your people," she said. "If you stay here, you'll hate me for keeping you. If you go now, you may come back. Take this pearl box, tied with green ribbon. Keep it safe. It will bring you here when you're ready, but keep the ribbon tied. If the bow comes undone and the box is opened, you'll never return." Urashima got into his boat, and the princess thrust it up through the waves. Soon he was on top of the water, sailing for home. There stood his hill, his cherry trees. There lay the sand where he built castles as a boy. Memory made his heart pound. He hurried up the path he knew so well. At first he thought nothing had changed. The sky shone blue and the crickets chirped. Rocks stood out of the sand as they always had. But when he came to where his house had been, he felt lost. The house was gone. Even the tree that had shadowed it was gone. he went on. All the houses were different. Children stared at him. What had happened in the 4 years he was under the sea? He saw an old man sitting in the sun, and he went to talk to him. "Beg pardon, sir. Can you tell me how to find Urashima's house?" he asked.
Urashima?
Said the old man, puzzled.
It's an odd name. Never heard it, but once before. That was in my great-grandfather's story of a boy who was drowned. His brothers, their sons, and their sons' sons lived hereabouts, but the family died out long before my time. It's a sad little tale, isn't it, stranger? A young man went fishing 400 years ago and disappeared. They never found even a stick from his boat. The sea simply swallowed him up, said the old man.
Fatherless, motherless, brotherless, homeless, Urashima was a stranger in his own village. The old man pointed with his cane.
You might find his tombstone in the old cemetery, he said. Down that way.
Slowly, Urashima went to the cemetery. There, beside his parents' tombstones and his brothers', was his own name, cut in worn old stone. Now Urashima understood. There was nothing left for him in this village. Here on earth he'd been dead and gone for 400 years. He must return at once to his beloved princess. He still had the pearl box, tied with the green ribbon. He knew he mustn't lose it. He knew he should hurry, but he felt tired and discouraged. He went back to the beach slowly. He sat to rest on the sand with the box in his knees. He wondered how he could return to the palace. Brooding, without thinking, he untied the ribbon around the box. Absent-mindedly, slowly, he opened the box. A white mist drifted up and hung an instant on the air. It had the shape, cloud soft, of his dear princess. Urashima held out his arms, but the mist disappeared on a sea breeze. He ran after it, but it had gone. At the water's edge he stopped. He felt so old. His back bent, his hands shook, his hair whitened and fell. His muscles failed and vanished. He withered away from top to toe. Soon on the white beach lay a skeleton fit for a grave, dug 400 years before. When the moon shone above the pine trees, it shone on the waves that gather and break and gather and break, over and over forever. It shone on a little empty pearl box and a green ribbon fluttering in the wind. I know that story is kind of different than a lot of the stories that we've read, but it's got a very good message to it. When you find something so beautiful and wonderful as love with the person that you're meant to be with, then it's very important to cherish that and to do everything you can to keep it and not lose it. His own curiosity, even though he was sad, he made him do the one thing she told him not to do. And in doing it, he lost her, and he lost himself, because he immediately became 400 years old instead of 4 years older. Anyway, I guess what the message here is that love is precious, it is special, and it is something we need to keep close to our hearts always. And we need to do what others ask us to do and what is right to keep our love alive. Anyway, it's a sweet story, and I hope you liked it as much as I did, and I hope to see you here again tomorrow.